Keepers nervous, strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
As the football season gradually comes towards the end, towards the close of the regular football season, we all anticipate with bated breath the transfer windows opening. Now, we have several players that have been linked, to different moves, to different clubs that will be looking to strengthen going to the next season. Clubs that will be looking to plug gaps in their teams, in their squads, and clubs that will be looking to get fresh faces in the building. And some Nigerian players have been linked to transfers out of their current club to other clubs. Obviously, in today's video, I'll be talking about 3 players. First of all, Victor Osimhen. Second, I'll be talking about Tolu Arokodare. And then I'll be talking about a young player that has been linked to switching his national team allegiance to Nigerian Super Eagles, and that is Faustino Anjorin. Used to play for Chelsea, and now he's with Empoli. So starting with Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen has been linked to several clubs. He was linked to Manchester United, was linked to Chelsea. There's talk of Juventus. There's even talk of Real Madrid. And then latest reports, supposedly, according to David Ornstein's Transfer Insider, was that Manchester United are not looking at Victor Osimhen as their main striker targets, rather than looking at Liam Delap. For me, as a Chelsea fan, I'm happy about that. Obviously, Victor Osimhen is head and shoulders above Liam Delap, and if I was advising the club to get a striker, it would be Victor James Osimhen. So it seems just at this early stage anyway that Manchester United are ruling themselves out of contention for the signature of Victor Osimhen. But however, you still have other clubs that have not come out ready to say they're not interested in his signature, like Juventus is still there, but obviously they haven't said anything concrete either way with respect to their interest or non-interest in the player. Real Madrid hasn't said anything in that regard as well. I think they still have like of Kylian Mbappe, obviously, so they see him as a number 9, but I'm sure the French player sees himself more as a left-sided attacker to start on the left and cutting on his right and affect him that way. But that's a different discussion for a different video. So Victor Osimhen also has been linked to Chelsea. Chelsea. He was on the list. It was shown on Sky Sports, and he was on the list of sort of striker targets that Chelsea will be looking to at least consider to sign this season. And names like Liam Delap were on the list. Benjamin Sesko was on that list as well. A usual suspect, but for me, I think Victor Osimhen really is that guy. He is that guy, or as the kids say, he is him. He is that guy. Power, aggression, pace. He's built to play for the Premier League. There's some players you see playing in other clubs, in other leagues, and you just look at them. The way this guy, approaches the game, he would definitely shine and stand out in the Premier League. He has everything it takes to play in the Premier League, and I think he'll be a very, very good signing for Chelsea if Chelsea are able to indeed do it. So, because he's got that leadership on the pitch. Enzo Maresca, in some of his press conferences, have said, "Oh, Chelsea need leaders on the pitch." And for me, signing a striker like Liam Delap would be another young player you have to sign. You have to, give time, 3, 4, 5 years, or at least 3 years to mature, before you can really place responsibilities on his shoulders. Same thing with the Liam Delap. You would say, oh, you just signed him from Ipswich Town. He's a young player. You need to give him time, 2 to 3, 4 years, to come good, to come into his own, to come into his prime. And that's on the footballing side of things. Then when you talk about the intangibles of actually being a leader among his peers or among his teammates, then that becomes another challenge to place on such a young player. I think Victor Osimhen is the ideal candidate for Chelsea because he has everything: the pace, the aggression, the pressing, in-box presence and awareness, and he is a leader. You've seen him play for Nigerian Super Eagles. You've seen him play for Napoli, helping them win their first Scudetto in over 30 years. You've seen him play for Galatasaray, helping them win their 23rd, league title, Turkish league title. And he's got what it takes. So for me, what are some opinions in the comment section? I'd like to know where you would, love to see Victor Osimhen go. Would you have him at the club you support, or you think maybe he's not needed at your club. But I wonder the striker that's at your club will make you feel like you don't need him. Maybe if you have a Harry Kane in Bayern Munich, maybe let's see, how that shakes out. So for me, let's see where he goes. But as a Chelsea fan, I'm biased. Hopefully, he comes to Chelsea. So, what are thoughts and opinions on Victor Osimhen's reported transfer destinations? Is it Manchester United? Do you think he should be heading there? Do you think Real Madrid? Do you think Chelsea? Do you think maybe Arsenal? But Arsenal have a rumor to be more interested in Victor Gyökeres, the Swedish striker for Sporting Lisbon, and he has been on fine form himself. So let's see how it all shakes down. Now we go on to another player, not Nigerian player, Nigerian striker that's been on phenomenal form. He scored, in the last game. His team, Genk, played against Royal Antwerp in the Belgian league. He scored, I think that's his 19th goal. He scored his team's goal in the 1-1 draw with Royal Antwerp. So he's been on excellent form this season, absolutely excellent form. He's come and played for Nigeria. He's had 2 caps, but I don't think he's played a full game yet for Nigeria, but he had 2 caps. So he's been linked to different clubs as well. So some interesting names. I've heard the likes of Dortmund, I've heard the likes of Bayern Munich. I've also heard the likes of Newcastle. For me, if I was to advise him, Tolu Arokodare, I would say you go to Dortmund or you go to Newcastle. And the caveat on going to Newcastle is if Isak will be sold. If Isak is sold to Liverpool, then he should go to Newcastle United, because instantly he gets game time. Instantly he becomes the number 1 out-and-out striker. And Eddie Howe likes to play with one striker, and he will be used to the best of his ability, the best of his potential. And I think that he can thrive, they can try and really impress, the Newcastle United faithful. So that's where I would advise him to go. But if that doesn't work out, I would say Dortmund. Because one thing about, especially because Guirassy, their striker has been linked to move away from Dortmund. And one thing about clubs like Dortmund is I wouldn't say they're miserly, I would say frugal. When they spend money on players, even if it's million euros, 2 million euros, 20 million euros, 100,000 euros, that player just has to play because they want to get value for their money, want to get return on their investment. And that would be a good spot for him to play, because Dortmund will always be in the Champions League. You will always be in and around that sort of title challenge, although Bayern Munich would always win the title, so I'll say Dortmund. But you say, oh, Bayern Munich, they're perennial Champions League contenders as well themselves. They win the league title in Germany more times than they don't. They absolutely dominate, the German Bundesliga. But for me, as long as there is a Harry Kane-sized, statue in Bayern Munich, there's no point going there, because he is a world-class striker. Though he's coming towards he's getting older, no doubt, but he is a world-class striker. And his sort of style of play has never really been built around having that, blistering pace. It's always been about being able to drop deep, link up play, being able to be an exquisite finisher in front of goal 1v1, being a very good penalty taker, although he missed one against France in the World Cup, being a very good set piece taker. So his game is built in and around that, so he can play till he's maybe 33, 34. So I would say to Arokodare, maybe you don't go there. Maybe you don't go there. And I don't see Vincent Kompany, playing with a 2-man strike force. He can play with a 3-man attack in terms of playing Olise on one side, maybe Jamal Musiala on the other. But I don't really see him playing with 2 strikers. So, and I don't want to play where you go and you're just hoping maybe if Harry Kane gets injured or he gets suspended. He doesn't ever get suspended. No, he doesn't, because he's not just that kind of player. So I think Dortmund, Newcastle, a club with a clear vision on how they want to use you as a player, Tolu Arokodare. Now we go to the last player, last but not least, and that's this Faustino Anjorin. Anjorin has been on fairly decent form for Empoli, and then also been the talk of him, deciding to switch his national team allegiance to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles. Let's see how that shakes down. And in addition, we've had links, reports linking him to a move to Juventus, reports linking him to Atalanta. Now, for me, you may say Juventus is the bigger club. Of course, it is the bigger club, more prestigious in terms of titles he's won, Champions League appearances, and all that. But sometimes going to the biggest club isn't the best option for, a young player. You need to go to a spot where there's vacancy for you to start. Number one, where you're not just coming to play second fiddle already. It's okay to have someone you're competing against, but not someone that is just locked in, as the coach says, wow, this is my number one, and then you are just immediately the number two. So I don't think Juventus will be the best place for him to go. I think Atalanta will be the best spot for him to go to, especially, Ederson, the Brazilian Ederson has been linked to different clubs, linked to Liverpool. I think Manchester United as well have been linked to the signature of the Brazilian midfielder. So if that is what maybe the fillers Anjorin has been getting via his agents and other people, that Ederson will be sold, I think then going to Atalanta would be the best bet for him. So that my total opinions on these various transfer news reports, rumors, however you want to describe them. So let me know what you think in the comment section. At this point, I've come to the end of the video. Do like and subscribe to the channel and share this video to people you feel will love content like this. So like I always say, stay well, stay blessed.